Then the doctor takes a look at Shane Thornton. Here comes Thornton now. Thornton, left-hander, bounces one that just goes wide of the cage.
Again, a tremendous hustle play there. You see Thornton come on the left-hand drive, quick shot behind, and you give the ball to St. Anthony's on the recovery from behind. But I said it earlier, Jim, and I still believe it. Chaminade was effective early, going after them from up top in the middle, attacking and dumping the ball quick, and they seem to have gotten away from that.
Hey fans, you can follow us on Twitter for the up-to-minute scores and other games throughout the tri-state area. Follow us on Twitter right here on MSG Varsity. So now St. A's up 3 goals. Now they have the ball. Brian Sherlock back in the lineup. Here comes the junior. Sherlock.
It's you! Charlie, get out!
Now, Jim, you mentioned it earlier as you see Lacasio load up from the top here. The health of St. Anthony's and how much fresher they were. And the first time all year, they felt like they were 100%, and they're showing it tonight.
Now this is Brian Sherlock. Swims over the top, swims back inside. Sherlock loses the ball, now picks it up, sees a double team, held on to it too long. Good job by the defense, Manny Clarkson and company. Now Clarkson coming the other way. Good job all around by Chaminade to get possession of this one. Here comes Matt Cavanaugh.
We got a really nice matchup here with Greg Denseglio and Matt Cavanaugh, 2 feature players. You know, guys who are going to do a lot of damage at the next level. Let's see how this plays out.
Cavanaugh grew up playing the game of hockey, switched over to lacrosse, undersized, but he's got that hockey fearless approach to the game. 60 points on the season. Cavanaugh now takes a look from behind the X. Here he comes now. Cavanaugh drawing a lot of attention.
You see there Cavanaugh's ability to take the physical play and not really react too much. That hockey background has done a lot for him with his physical play and his hands. The hands of a hockey player when it comes to lacrosse, it's a huge advantage.
Oh, Herbank had a look at Kieran Burke. And Kieran Burke might have got a little piece of that one. You've seen Chaminade here put a couple shots wide of the cage and haven't tested Burke too much. You know, Coach Moran will make the adjustment on that one. 15 times Jack Moran has won this Long Island Catholic Championship.
When you talk about great goaltending, very often shooters will give the goaltender too much credit. They try to be too fine with their shots. If you would have listened to Jack Moran at halftime, he'll probably tell his guys, don't give him so much credit. Shoot the ball. You know, shoot it at the goal. If he makes a save, he makes a save. But don't be so fine that you don't even give yourself a chance to score.
Well, now Matt Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh against Denseglio. You want to talk about a heavyweight matchup. Cavanaugh tries to free up that left hand. Triple team collapse on Cavanaugh. Now off the loose ball. Who comes away with it? Good job by Brendan DiTommaso to come away with that one. And Coach Moran wants to call a timeout because DiTommaso was in a world of trouble. But give him credit. He got possession.
You see the double, the triple, quadruple team on Cavanaugh. Brendan DiTommaso comes up with it in traffic, keeps moving his feet, keeps working those hands. Jack Moran wants to talk about it.
Well, these two teams meeting again for the title. St. Anthony's comes in 2-time defending champs off an epic classic a year ago. We take you back 12 months. St. Anthony's and Chaminade. It's in the 4th quarter. It's 7-6 for Chaminade. The legend Tommy Schreiber to Brendan Schroeder. Schreiber to Schroeder had tied the game. This game was at CW Post, and then lightning would come at CW Post. The game would be postponed. We come back 24 hours later at a different venue. St. John the Baptist. Billy Himmler from Cavanaugh, and Chaminade has the lead. The seconds would tick away on St. Anthony's season, and with 30 seconds left, Thunder Joe down the alley and lets a left-hander go to tie this game. They would go to the ultimate in lacrosse, sudden death, the golden goal. Next one wins. Watch the pass from Tommy Schreiber. Colin Clive, it is over. St. Anthony's wins it. What a look from Schreiber to Clive. And St. Anthony's goes back-to-back in the Catholic Championships. It took 2 days, but they brought home the hardware. What a moment for those guys. What a battle, what a game.
Jim, I just want to correct one part of that call. As great as it was, when you're a player, it's sudden victory. It's not sudden death. And that comes from Roy Simmons Jr. And you could talk to your man Clark and everyone else, and they'll tell you. Simmy would tell you, it's sudden victory, boys. And those aren't yellow lines around the field, they're gold.
Spoken like a true member of the Syracuse Orange. Hey, when the guy to my right has 3 national championships, I got to listen to him, folks. Sean Mann now, left-hander. This one goes wide. Now behind the cage, the ball still in play, picked up by Lukovic. Chaminade having trouble scoring, having trouble getting shots on cage right now.
You have a very nice job of defense being played by St. Anthony's. They're very quick to the ball, quick to double, and then their recovery is just as quick. As you see a double team now, and here comes transition for the Friars.
You're looking at a Division I defender in Dansiglio. Off the double, they're in motion. Dansiglio to the rack, loads up, over the crossbar from Greg. Well, they are offensive-minded in the right situation.
Jim, it's one thing to see a guy come through, but he sets a defender up to dodge there. That's not a pole going up the field being tentative. He's looking at Walter Rooney and he's figuring out, let me get him leaning and I'm going to drive to the middle of the field and I'm going to put this one in. That's a guy who's really confident and really working hard on his skills.
Halfway through the second quarter. Coming up live at the halftime, Mike Quick with a mini version of Quick 60. He'll be previewing the FCX Championship that we'll have live tomorrow night right here on MSG Varsity. But for now, it's the Catholic Championship of Long Island. And this shot goes wide, and first to the spot was Chaminade.
They had a situation there. Friars come around the goal left-handed. I think that was Sean McDonough. No one behind the goal. John Connors gets there quickly. Gets the play for Chaminade. That's a quick steal of possession by him.
Here's Rooney, and he puts it home. Bullseye, direct hit for Walter Rooney. The St. John's bound midi has cut the lead in half. It is 4-2, and the Flyers really needed that one.
Oh, they needed that one. No doubt about it. Walter Rooney coming down, making a heck of a play. But it starts with John Connors and his quick play behind the goal. He gets possession. You see Rooney come drive through left-handed, puts it in. Takes on Timmy Stackpole, puts that ball in the goal. 4-2, St. Anthony's Friars.
When more and more you see guys scoring from sharp angles, just putting a little mustard on it. Off the draw now. There's St. Anthony's, Conroy. Conroy fires one. They got it backed up, so why not?
When you're a young player, Jim, you talk about ways to make a contribution to a game without being in the scoring column. The play of John Connors there, it won't show up as a ground ball, not a save by him, but it's a possession. He gets the ball out quickly. They catch Chaminade in a tough transition, getting their offensive people off and the defensive people on, and they get themselves an easy goal, which could get them going again.
Brendan Hurley now swings it over to Nick Alibrandi. Here comes Nick now, taking a look for somebody. He will go behind. Matty Chanachuk.
Nick, get back up top.
Now Brendan Hurley, the junior. Here's Hurley now. Hurley inside. He's got an opportunity. Hurley off the pipe right there. Lefty to righty. Ah, but look at the ride. Here's McDonough one-on-one. Forget about it. Sean McDonough. McDonough with his third of the day.
St. Anthony's goal, his third of the game. Scored by number 23.
The suffocating presence of St. Anthony. They watch him chip the ball off the ride, off the miss.
There's the post. John Connors comes up with it. Front of the goal. A little pressure by the attack on the ride. Matt Chanachuk knocks that ball down. Sean McDonough picks up the garbage. And as you said, Jim, that's a no doubter. He's not going to miss that opportunity.
Well, as fast as Chaminade got a little momentum, Jack Moran sees St. Anthony's get it right back in an opportunity that time, and Kieran Burke came up huge.
Big save by Kieran Burke, Jim, but I'll tell you, the last 2 times down the field, the guy who's showing legs for Chaminade is Walter Rooney. He's going after people, he's able to beat his man, and he's getting it off left-handed and right-handed, trying to do some damage.
Walter Rooney, a lot of giddy up. Usually dodges to feed. He's come out shooting this year. Here's Rooney once again.
He just looks to me like a guy who's got a lot of spring in his step. This is important to him, and he's able to beat his man pretty consistently to this point.
Well, you know the way this goes, Pat. Guys like Rooney, without the big name recognition, don't draw the slide, and they try to take advantage of it. And that's what Rooney has been doing in the back half of the season. With all the Kavanaughs and big name players, defenses just try to go one-on-one with Rooney, and he will make you pay.
Yeah, we throw those names around out there, and both of these rosters are full of them, and you can't account for everybody. So you think about all these numbers and you pick them out, but at some point it's going to be someone else to step up. And so far tonight, Rooney's been that guy.
Broken clear by the Friars. Chaminade picks it up. Here comes Mike Quinn now. The Yale-bound defender drops it off to Shane Thornton. Now Shane is on his horse. Here comes Shane, spins inside, shows a double team, and comes out with the ball once again. Two squads, toughness personified.
If there's one thing that I think Chaminade needs to get away from, it's the intent to dodge not only your man, but beat the double team as well. They were moving the ball very nicely early in the game, and they seem to have gotten away from that. That ball movement was getting them free.
Hey, yo, that's a freebie right there, Mr. McCabe. Sean Mann from downtown, and the captain makes it 5-3.
I got to tell you, Jim, I'm talking through you there, and I apologize, but I never thought from that deep Sean Mann's going to let that ball go, and that is not a spot you're expecting a shot from. And look at how deep Sean Mann is here. Off hip, beats Kieran Burke, and he's expecting this as much as I am at that point.
Sean Mann is a captain for a reason. He will just outwork you. And you see him load up right there.
Gets a little pick by Urbank there. Gets his hands free just momentarily, and he feels confident enough to load that thing up. I don't think Kieran Burke was expecting it, because I know I wasn't.
Well, one thing you see out of programs like Chaminade and St. Anthony, even when they get down early, they just start counter-punching. And right now, the Flyers, with under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter, they are right square back in this game. Here's Paulie Urbank. Now Matt Clarkson. And Clarkson, a senior attackman, down for Colgate. Frees up the right hand. Fires one! Yes, sirree! Matty Clarkson from downtown. And we have a one-goal game in the Catholic final.
Chaminade goal, his second of the game, scored by number 4, Matt Clarkson.
Beat his man, and he let it
You see the little left to right shimmy. Quick step to his right. Gets those hands free. The double team is late. Puts it over the top of Kieran Burke. Quick, strong move there, late on the double team. And really starting to see Chaminade shoot the ball well.
Off the whistle.
Chaminade ball.
It is Chaminade's ball. Here they come, in motion once again.
These games go in flows. Teams make runs. Jim, we saw St. Anthony's with that run in the first quarter. Chaminade having theirs now as we get to 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Now Kavanaugh. Staring right down the barrel at Greg Dansiglio.
2 minutes.
Final 2 minutes here of the second quarter. Kavanaugh now. To behind, he goes Lukovic. Here's the sophomore now, taking a peek. Lukovic once again. Inside roll. Lukovic now to the X, drops it off to Kavanaugh. One-on-one, this is where he wants to be. Oh, yeah! Are you kidding me? Matty Kavanaugh! Falling down low to low, and they love it here at Hofstra. That's a Division I move by the Notre Dame-bound senior. Spectacular, number 35 on the season.
Jim, they're loving it, and what's not to love here? You've seen Kavanaugh try Dansiglio on a number of times. That time just sells out, leaves the ground, diving left-handed, low to low, beats Kieran Burke down on the bottom side. But that's just a tremendous job by Matt Kavanaugh. You see Burke's in good position. Comes over the top side. The goal gets big as he gets through there. puts it home. Emotional, big pickup for the Flyers.
The reaction by Dansiglio, one-on-one with Kavanaugh, said it all. He couldn't believe a guy going down to the turf could get that much torque on a shot that Matt Kavanaugh did. And it got by Kieran Burke. Chaminade, 3 goals in 1 minute and 25 seconds. Sit back and relax if you're joining us on Lax Live, because this is the game otherwise known as St. Anthony's and Chaminade. The Flyers have come all the way back, and we are tied at 5 right here with 90 seconds to go. What an action-packed first half. And we want everybody not to forget that for total lacrosse coverage, channel 614 is Lacrosse Central. MSG Varsity Interactive is bringing you full games across the tri-state area with the power to start and stop the action whenever, wherever you want. Your destination, those guys' destination, is the most lacrosse in one place, and it's Lacrosse Central, now on MSG Varsity Interactive, channel 614. Well, Tara Petrolino got a little listen to the St. Anthony's huddle and their head coach Keith Weiserick. What do you have to say, Tara?
Coach just told his team, listen guys, you knew this was going to happen. It's going to be a game of runs. Now we must answer. We're not doing a good job of valuing the ball. For the middies, clears up and out. And he looked at Kieran Burke and he said, you should have been there on that one. Kieran shook his head yes, and he said, that's all right, you're going to get the next one.
Loose change in front. Oh, there's Kieran Burke. And the North Carolina-bound junior keeper. He came out and made a huge stop right there. Wow, you want to talk about a momentum play right there by Burke. Chaminade sticks that one.
But coach tells him in the huddle he should have had that one, so he goes and makes a spectacular one on the next opportunity. Kieran Burke, not one of those guys who wants to let his coach down.
He is the real deal, a lefty goalie. Quick hands, a lot of poise. And Keith Weiserick lit a little fire under his junior keeper in that last timeout. It's a game that started out all Friars. They were led 4-1 after the first quarter. At one point in the second, it was 5-2. The last 3 goals have come from Chaminade, and we are tied at 5 with 1 minute left here in the first half. Don't forget, coming up at the half, Mike Quick is live here and on site. He'll take you through some of the action, and then, of course, a little preview of the FCAC Championship. Terry Ann, the Blue Wave, taking on Ridgefield, the Tigers. Lukovic loses it. Kieran Burke will pick it up. The Tigers of Ridgefield, coached by one of your guys, Syracuse's own, one of the all-time greats, the legendary Roy Colsey.
Great player in his own right and a terrific coach as well. We're going to have St. Anthony's call a timeout here as they get the ball over the midline. They're going to want to talk about this with 24.9 left. Or 26.4, excuse me.
So Keith Weiserick will gather his troops. What a job he has done. It's been a series of ebb and flow. We go back 2005, 2006, 2007, and 8. It was a 4-peat for Chaminade. Now St. Anthony's, they've come into this game winning the last 2 titles back to back. Well, if you enjoy Quick 60 every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock here in MSG Varsity, there's the Grand Poobah himself, Mike Quick. At the half, he'll preview the FCAC Championship game and take a look at the Quick 60 top 14, MSG Varsity's top 14 teams in the tri-state area. Another one of his fans probably saying, hey, what about my squad, man? Why aren't we in there at that top 14? And Quick's letting him know why.
He's got all the answers, Jim, you know that. When it comes to sports in the tri-state, I don't know if there's anyone better than Mike Quick.
So the Friar Nation in full force. And you take a look at Chaminade, boy, at 4-1. You know the game is far from over, but there's got to be a little sense of anxiety when you get down big and the other team has got it going. And for them to punch their way back into this one, a 5-0, it really says something.
They've punched their way back in this very nicely, Jim, and that's the expression we're using. You know, this is a fight. This is a 12-round fight. But now, when St. Anthony's brings the ball to the midline, they call the timeout. They're going to figure out exactly how they want to attack Chaminade. But at the same time, they've done Chaminade a favor. They've allowed Chaminade to get set up defensively, to assess personnel, figure out how they want to line up, and what they want to do defensively for this last 25 seconds or so.
So here we go with that last 20 seconds. Behind they go. Onto the stick of Chaminade. He's in the battle royal, but it comes away with it. Here's Chaminade now, drawing the defense. Slides it across to the left hand, to the inside. Downtown, Joe Lacasio. And Thunder Joe gives the Friars the lead once again. Oh, Joe, the Maryland-bound senior, committed as a junior for a reason. He's a playmaker.
First of the game. Scored by number 9,
Jim, you
Joe
wouldn't call this a
Lacasio.
transition situation, but what happens is when Chaminade draws the double team, it gets the defense chasing. Now the ball swings from side to side, and you see all the guys in white jerseys who have been leaning toward the ball now have to chase the ball. Joe Lacasio keeps those feet moving, gets around his defender, beats him, gives him the 1-goal lead going into half.
Well, Lacasio got the goal, but Matty Chaminade, it was his fight for that ground ball that created the opportunity.
Is St. Anthony's
A chance
6,
to let out a little
Chaminade
sigh. What a first 24 minutes of lacrosse. Entertaining for you at home, entertaining for the folks in the building. I don't know if it was entertaining for the coaches. We'll find out right now. Keith Weiser is with Tara.
Hey, Jimmy, maybe a little more stressful than enjoyable, but Coach, they went on a 3-goal run. You knew it was going to be a game of runs, and then Joe Lacasio just knocking one in with 3 seconds. What was the difference on that play right there?
Well, that's not exactly how we drew it up. Usually you don't have the attackman on his belly to pop up and make a play. But, hey, this is going to be a game of runs. They're an excellent, excellent team. So, I mean, we told our kids at 4-1, it's going to be back and forth. Nobody can sit back. 2 great teams that are, you know, the kids bring the best out in each other. So it's going to be a battle till the end.
Face-offs at the X. How do you think you performed so far?
Well, we're going to try to get an explanation. Charlie's getting a lot of procedure calls, which isn't usually the norm, and he's a little confused and I think a little rattled by it. So we're going to try to get an explanation of that before the start of the half, and hopefully we can turn that around a little bit.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thanks, guys.
Jimmy.
Very tough for a face-off guy like Charlie Raffa to go at it one way all season long and then to hear the whistles. We are through 2 quarters here in this championship game. Mike Quick is poised. Table for one, Mr. Quick. We have it ready for you. When a guy's got power, he's got power. They came looking for Catholic supremacy, battling back and forth. Coach Weiserick and his Friars. The Flyers of Chaminade and Coach Moran got down big. They've come all the way back to 1-goal lead. Halftime at Quick is straight ahead.
Welcome back to a live look at Hofstra University, where we have a dandy in the Long Island Catholic AAA Lacrosse Championship. The lacrosse firm of Mann, Clarkson, and Kavanaugh had him going wild just a couple minutes ago at St. James and Mineola right there at the train station. But St. Anthony answers with 3 seconds left. Super Joe Lacasio gives the Friars a 6-5 lead. Tale of 2 halves. Listen, St. Anthony came out, they used that football toughness. They got all over Chaminade, get that 4-1 lead, and then Chaminade comes back with that lacrosse finesse. Remember, on April 5th, deja vu all over again. The Friars jump up big, and back comes Chaminade to win that game. This is going to be a great 24 minutes of lacrosse to decide who will be the 2011 Catholic AAA champion on Long Island. In less than 24 hours, we'll crank this thing up again. We'll head about 55 miles north to Norwalk, Connecticut, Brian McMahon High School, where we'll bring you Lax Live, a doubleheader week on MSG Varsity. We'll give you the FCAC Championship. It was all decided Tuesday night, the semifinals. Let's take you back. Darien, the number 6 team in our poll, taking on Wilton. Let's go to those highlights. It was Darien and Case Mathias on the attack against Wilton. And here's Case going up against one of the best goalies in all of the tri-state. Army getting a good one in Sam Summers. He turns back the junior Duke commit, but Darien would have answers on this night. But so would Mike Francia to Michael Serpa, and the Warriors take a 1-0 lead. Upset in the making, not for long. Tied at 1. Mathias to his buddy Richard Gregory. Quick stick gives the Blue Wave a 2-1 lead. Then at the X, Timmy Murphy, who scored the game winner just a couple weeks ago against these Friars. He hits Villanova-bound Graham Maybell, and the sniper gives his guys a 3-1 lead. Gregory from the X does it himself. 4 unanswered goals for the Blue Wave. 6-3 now. Matthias, you know he's going to get involved. The little big man doing his thing. Out in front, oh, you gotta love it. Trinity-bound Benny Preston, little worm burner, gives Darien a 7-3 lead. Then Matthias, one-on-one. No one's gonna stop this guy. That's why Danowski's so happy in 2 years. Darien moving on, 9-6 as they celebrate. Now in 2009, Darien lost in the FCAC championship to a bunch of guys from Ridgefield. Matt White, yeah, that guy's still involved. He's leading Virginia into a Final Four weekend. Ridgefield took on Greenwich in the other semifinal. The winner of that would get Darien. Here we go, back to Brian McMahon, the site of the semifinals. This was a Ridgefield team in the quarterfinals that decimated Brian McMahon, 17-4, playing really good lacrosse. Andrew Feeney with the goal. Greenwich, okay, they're up 1-0. Here come the Tigers. Andrew Bucknavage to Willie Bonaparte. 2-1 Ridgefield. They would take that lead for good and they would build on it. Bucknavage for Mount getting a good one. Catamounts, they're going to love the lefty. 3-1 Ridgefield. It's Bucknavage again. He was kind of quiet in the quarterfinal victory against McMahon. Not on this night. Oh, that time goes to the right, gets the hands free. The Tigers, they're rolling. 4-1, they're gonna get more. I love this guy, Aiden Scott, going to Denver, gonna play for Bill Tierney in the future. He gives it up to Matt Herviton, and the Tigers take a 4-goal lead into the break. Then Matty Shannon, somehow, oh, that's a great pass, gets it to Eric Scala. Scala beats the keep. Tigers, 6 unanswered goals, they lead 6-1. Bucknavage had himself a night. 4 goals and an assist, that time going to the left again, 7-1. They would add another, and another. They'd win it 10-5. Sean Wilkerson, he finds Scala. He gets another one, and that will now, well, it's going to be a good one. It will be a very good game tomorrow night, about 23 hours away from more live lacrosse. Now, just 9 days ago, Darien and Ridgefield hooked up in the last regular season FCAC game. Darien won that game easily, 17-10. But you think Ridgefield wanted anybody other than the top team in Connecticut?
Yeah, we definitely wanted another shot at Darien. Greenwich was the first obstacle. We lost them the past 3 times, twice in the playoffs. But Darien obviously is, the team to beat. So, we'll take it to them as best we can.
This is huge. The same game last year, we got upset by Greenwich, and we were really hungry coming to this game. We really won this one. We're really happy to be back in the finals on a Friday night.
All right, so Case and Matthias and the guys will be at Brian McMahon tomorrow night. In 2008, Darien beat Ridgefield in the FCAC championship. A year later, Darien lost, and they lost in the semifinals last year. Here you go, take a look tomorrow night. If you're a lacrosse fan, get your Memorial Day weekend started with another edition of Lax Live. Ridgefield playing good lacrosse, taking on, without question, the top team in Connecticut, Darien. Their only 2 losses on the year to the #1 team in America, Haverford, Pennsylvania, and Manhasset, who, as we all know, can play some lacrosse out here on Long Island. Now, Darien's #6 in the Tri-State, the top 14 on MSG Varsity 14. Here we go, take a look, and the poll will be very different next week. West Islip, Ward Melville, they're playing. Garden City, Manhasset, they're still going. Chaminade, Darien, Summit with that win streak approaching 70. Smithtown West, they'll take on Ward Melville in the semifinals. St. Anthony, Del Barton. There will be changes in 11 through 14. Compsawat loses to Huntington. Gone. Sachem North loses in the quarterfinals. Gone. Wilton loses to Darien in the semifinals. They're gone. I'm gone. When we come back, Cavallo, McCabe, Petrolino. It's a great half. 6-5 St. Anthony. Enjoy the second half, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
The girls hit the field for a championship.
Together!
When the Northport Tigers battle the Pittsburgh Panthers at the hard-hitting New York State Class A Lacrosse Finals on MSG Varsity Lacrosse Game Time, tomorrow 9 a.m.
Thursday night live on Long Island. MSG Varsity's Lax Live. Moments away before we start the third quarter. Our number 9, St. Anthony, the Friars, with a 1-goal lead over our number 5 team, the Flyers of Chaminade. And Pat McCabe, if you're looking for some great lacrosse highlights in the first half of action, well,